the coolest car around in the 80s. It was the Volkswagen Golf and the Peugeot 205 GTI that kicked the whole thing off. But smiling insurance and cheaper sports cars nearly killed them off. Until now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the Clio 172 Sport. The 172 because it has 172 brake horsepower. It's part race car and part get-around-town car.
And then there's the Honda Civic Type R. Civic as in sensible, Type R as in rally sport nutter lurking underneath. 197 brake horsepower and, believe it or not, a better power to weight ratio than a Lotus Elise.
If you look back in history, you'll find the most popular car ever was a Toyota Corolla, but perhaps it's the most boring car ever too. Well, Toyota hope to address that balance with this, their latest T-Sport.
But can any of these three offer true sports car performance and capture the imagination like the originals? Well, to help us find out, we've drafted in some old-school hot hatch fanatics.
Hot hatch over any other type of car is basically the extra performance you're going to get. It's the extra styling, it's the extra mile that the designers and the manufacturers have gone to stand that car out.
The thing I like about hot hatches is that they're really small, nippy, everybody wants to race you on the road, and value for money, you just can't beat them.
The point of having a car with the speed that these hot hatches have is that you know you can go that bit quicker if you want to, when no one's looking. Put your foot on the accelerator and bring a smile to your face.
What they're looking for isn't only striking looks, but a car that can be driven high up in the rev range, giving you the same experience as a true sports car.
It's quite dull. It looks like many of the other Corollas. There's too much gap between the wheels and the arches.
I hope they haven't spent too much designing this, which I don't think they have, because it's pretty pathetic, really.
It's a horrible car.
Do you think this car smells hot hatch? Does it say hot hatch?
It looks like a hot hatch, yeah. Especially the front.
It's very hairdresser-ish.
It's a cute hatch.
It's a cute hatch.
There we go.
For me, definitely the best-looking car here.
It's a little bit lower, a little bit sleeker, a little bit sportier.
Does it make a difference that it's a Civic?
I think it's a horrible tag to carry around with it.
Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. I was on 125 in St. Nick, chilling with this chick named Tom DeLeo. Was a hot girl and everybody wanted to slay.
What's the point? I mean, you can't do more than, say, 40 mile an hour, Stuart, on roads like this.
It's the fact knowing that you're in a car that can do it.
That's what I said. It's knowing that you can do it.
And I just want to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind.
Once you hit 5,000 revs, something kicks in and it just starts pulling a bit more. It just feels like a standard
Clio. That's a little bit quicker.
That's a bit quicker, exactly.
Would you find yourself, any of you, in this car, looking at your reflection in the shop window?
No.
Now hold up, stop. Now wait a minute. We don't stop, we rock, cause ain't a limit.
It's a bit slow on the pickup, the clutch is quite soft. It slid a bit there on the taking the bend, but then I don't expect many people to take.
Well, no, I would have thought that was the way you took the bend, sir.
I feel safe in the car, but there's no fun, there's no excitement.
That's nice for you.
Can you show me that gear change you did again? Which one?
It's quite amusing, that. Yeah, that one, I like that. What is all that about?
Well, we go drag racing and you have to change gear very quickly.
Yeah. They got it up to 7, dropped into 4, the revs just right down.
It falls off the cam.
It falls right down, and it's taken another 5 seconds to get back up again. It doesn't feel sporty, it doesn't feel like a hot hatch. It feels like a nippy city car, really.
But we're back to the manuscript, cause I don't think you can handle this.
You're taking this pretty seriously, ain't you, Dad?
You want to drive a car, you drive how you do on the road.
Is this how you drive on the road then?
No.
I was going to say, how many points you got on your licence?
Too many. And I've never driven a car that you hit 6,500 revs and it picks up even more. I actually feel a little tingle when I'm driving it, you know, it puts a smile on your face.
This is so much nicer. This is definitely a hot hatch.
All of a sudden these guys have become full-on touring car drivers.
Oh, I'm 17 again.
Brakes, steering, all of that stuff?
I haven't really brake much yet, but
No, I've noticed that.
the steering's very responsive.
One word to sum up this car.
Fantastic.
Well, Danny, Jason and Stuart have had fun in our 3 hot hatches, but it's time for them to decide which car out of the 3 is the most desirable or which one they want to fight us and take home. Let's start with you, Dan. Which one is it to be, mate?
I like the Clio very much, but for me it's definitely the Honda.
Why?
It looks the part, it drives the part, it handles really well, and it's the car that I want to be in.
Good words.
You've got a bit of a smirk. I reckon you might be saying the same thing, eh?
Yeah, exactly the same. Agree with everything he said. It's smooth, handles the road, sticks to it. It's just oozing with power.
But it looks like an MPV.
Nah, it's sleek like an arrow.
How about you, Stu?
I like the Clio, I like the styling, especially the front. It's saying get out of my way, but again I'm going to agree with the boys and I'm going with the Honda as well. It's the most exciting to drive out of 3.
Neil? Yeah, to that Honda. So it looks...
hold on, here's a good question.
Go on.
Clear winner. Who comes second?
The Clio.
Clio.
What's up with the Toyota?
Well, just look at it.
So there you have it. The lads have all gone for the Honda Civic, and who can blame them?
Interested in buying one of these? Well, we found a fantastic deal on the Renault Sport Clio 172 in silver, just like the one featured in this week's show, for just 12 grand. That's a saving of almost £3,500. For full details of this and other great deals, log on to 4car.co.uk. In part 2, which of our hatches is quickest on our crosstown challenge and is hot enough to take on the Honda S2000 head-to-head on the track?
The new Honda Civic Type R may have proved a real success with our hot hatch fanatics, but that was mainly on twisty A roads. These cars will spend most of their lives in busy cities. So can these 3 hatches give us the same thrills and spills in a busy urban environment? Well, let's find out.
We brought them to a private road network to see which will be the quickest off the mark, nippiest on the city streets within legal speed limits, and best at coming to a sharp halt. The car which completes the course in the quickest time will have to prove its worth against one of the best sports cars around. Now, to measure the speed of which this car will be travelling, I've been given the latest telemetry system, satellite hello there computer, which will be telling me how fast we get to, say, 40 miles an hour and how fast we brake from 40 miles an hour down to 0, so we can measure our 3 cars' nippiness. The first car we're testing is the Toyota Corolla T-Sport. Jason's off and running. Go on, son. Go on, nail it. And we got up there in 4.85 seconds. It's nippy, isn't it?
It is nippy, but only once it gets on the cam.
Now, this stretch of road is limited up to 60 miles an hour.
Brakes are fabulous on this car.
They are
great
good,
feel.
Steering lock out of this little junction. It's not bad, but the nose of the car does go into the other lane. Round and roundabout.
Let's have a look. Front-wheel drive understeer, city. Got to look out for the old woman now with a dog, haven't we?
Watch it, Jace, there's a lady!
Oh, hello.
Braking hard up to the zebra crossing, and it can tell us that from 40 miles an hour down to 0, we broke in less than 2.5 seconds, 2.41 seconds. We travelled a distance of 17 metres, and that's pretty good, isn't it?
And pulled 0.9 G.
0.9 G, not bad at all.
Impressive, and a lap time to beat of 55 seconds.
I expect this car to be slightly quicker.
It's always done well in the past.
Done well in the past. It's one of our favourites, and it's got a lower centre of gravity, so I expect it to be a little bit more nippier.
How's that go?
Go on, Jace. Well, in fact, it's a little bit slower to 40 miles an hour at 5.2 seconds.
It's got good grip, this car.
So we're on the anchors hard now. Steering lock?
Not as good as
No, we're near as good as the
Corolla. But the chassis is much more fun. It's a bit more sporty, a bit more lively.
On the brakes.
Oh, there's that old girl again. Just doesn't really stop.
Well, down to braking, we got from 40 down to 0 in 2 seconds, which is marginally quicker than the Corolla T-Sport.
Yeah.
So it's quicker on the brakes, but not quicker on acceleration.
Doesn't feel.
Now, the brakes don't feel up to the job like the Corolla T-Sport did.
Despite its brakes, it's actually a whole 4 seconds nippier than the T-Sport.
It's the slowest of the 3 up to 40 at 5.8 seconds.
It's got the best engine by a long way. On the brakes, oh, hello, slow down. Whoa, baby.
Steering lock. Oh, no, it's not as good. Of the 3 were over the other side of the road. You can feel every rut and bump and manhole cover in the road, though, in this car. The suspension is
stiff as you like. On the brakes. Oh, nearly got her. The brakes are comparable with the other two cars at just over 2 seconds. But this car, for me, gives me the best hot hatch feel. Yeah, it's got the best engine. It's not the most dynamic chassis. I think the Clio's got that. This feels more stable, more composed. So if you had to choose any car as a hot hatch out of three, which one would it be? This one.
The best engine and the quickest around the circuit confirm the Civic as the nippiest of our trio. Now the ultimate challenge, is the Civic hot enough to compete with its big brother, Honda's flagship sports car, the S2000?
Just how fast our Civic Type R is around town, but just how quick is it on the circuit? To find out, we're going to put it against this, a true sports car, the fantastic Honda S2000. Nice one, son.
As Penny is covering the World Rally, we've drafted in a little extra muscle. Meet Johnny Molam, GT racer from Le Mans and the Daytona 500. We've brought him down to the fast and furious Castle Combe circuit to find out if a front-wheel drive hot hatch can keep up with a rear-wheel drive sports car.
It's damp track, so you never know front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive's a lot more fun, but front-wheel drive's probably easier in the wet to actually get traction out of the corners.
The Type R badge definitely isn't all mouth. This Civic extracts nearly 200 horsepower from its 2-litre VTEC engine. On paper, it's only a second or so slower to 60 than Johnny's S2000, and of course it's much lighter. So I reckon I might have a bit of a chance here. I might even stick my neck out and say that I'm going to do him.
This Honda S2000 is about £10,000 more expensive than this Civic R that Jason's driving. It's only got about 20 horsepower more as well, and it's also a little bit heavier, so I anticipate this being very close. Obviously it's got a good 0 to 60 time in about 5.5 seconds, but the Civic as well has only got 6.2, so they're very evenly matched, so this should be very, very close. I'm going to leave my traction control off because it's damp, and let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, go! So, very good traction on this car, obviously rear-wheel drive, so that gives me an advantage over the Civic R.
It just doesn't have the traction, this thing. It struggles getting off the line. The Honda's gone. Oh, we've got to do some work to catch him up, the old boy. Mind you, I reckon we can nibble a bit out of him on the brakes.
Braking quite early here because I don't want to end up having a problem going into quarry. A slight switch there, coming down into second gear, turning the car in. You can feel the rear sliding, and it's going away from me then.
Oh, Johnny fella, watch where you're going, mate.
I bet Jason's laughing his head off. Heavy on the brakes.
Oh, there she goes, a bit sideways. Come on. Come on, sweetheart.
He's coming down the right-hand side. Blocked him going in there again. Jason's grinning in my rear-view mirror there. That takes me back a few years.
My big opportunity is on the exit of this corner. It's got to roll up his inside. Here we go. I'm on my way. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Jason's still there. Now, I know that coming out of this corner I'm going to be in trouble. It's a long right-hand corner. The understeer's hardly there at all. This car doesn't know the meaning of the word understeer. All it wants to do is limit oversteer all the time. And here comes Jason. Yes!
We've got him!
So he's gone into the chicane quite quickly. See if we can get him on the way out. Hard on the power.
Come on, son!
He tried it on there.
He's lost it! Go on, Jake! Go on! Yes! Fantastic! See, they nearly lost it up there. Brilliant stuff.
Fair play, give him the best there. That car's got much better traction than this car. I could have had you then, but I backed off for you. You got a pants start.
Yeah, oh, it's dreadful, man.
Would you believe it? Honda's Hot City Runabout beats their own flagship sports car, which costs a whole 10 grand more, and it only has 2 seats. Front-wheel drive and a great engine make the Civic the baddest hot hatch on the limit. Right, time for the verdict, the part of the show where we decide which of our 3 hot hatches offers the best sporting performance and is so desirable it captures our imaginations just like the old classics. Now, the first thing to discuss, Jason, are those 3 hot hatch fanatics.
Right, it was clear, wasn't it? This was the most desirable hot hatch car there was. They loved it. In fact, all 3 of them went for this.
I think that the T-Sport is not a bad car.
Well,
to
they
drive
slated that, and I don't see what they're slated. I like it. I think it's a
I
good
like
little
the gear
car.
change,
Yeah,
I like
good.
the way it drives.
There's
I think
nothing
it's a
wrong
good
with
car.
it at all, and I don't think it looks bad either.
Which brings me on to the next subject, around town.
All these three cars are very nippy, they're very nimble, they're great fun around town, but again, the Honda was the best.
Followed closely by the Clio, which I thought was dynamically really good
The
around
interesting
town.
thing is none of these three cars are perfect. They've all got pluses and they all win at something. You know, the Toyota had the best brakes for me, the best feel. The Renault Clio had the best turning, the best chassis, and this had the best engine.
You could have a combination of those three, we'd have the ultimate hot hatch, wouldn't we?
But they're 80 grand, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I think you had that race with Johnny Molan, which I stood on the sidelines, excited and also slightly jealous. But mate, how close was that?
I was surprised, to be honest. The S2000 is a cracking car, sports car, a proper sports car, and yeah, I managed to beat him in the Type R.
So if I think I know where you're going with this, and I'm going to go the same way.
Do
if
you,
we
Mike?
had to choose,
I think if we had to choose one, it would most definitely be the Type R, the Civic. However, they all do. They're all great hot hatches, and they're all better than the old ones used to be by quite some way, but this is definitely the cutting edge.
out of the 3 cars tested, we feel that the car that captures both the spirit and imagination of those classic GTIs of the 80s is the Honda Civic Type R.